Adeshima mba mekoso akinkan kase no ediama musi eboyura nsem num a na ye behya ase e Savannah region ho ena mprimprin eye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama akopi ho na botaye odeko nyina ne se ye Pentecost asafo aye woda mango atoto won sansi ese ye naduafie ediama ye nnuan mo motwere aban kukumu e Savannah region eye damango nti mbra okọ honom no na we wokohwe amomatia no na eye naduafie ahyase adidwuma.
Believe that no Ghanaian should be stripped of their humanity even when they are in prison. We are therefore implementing far-reaching reforms which include, amongst others, expanding the use of alternative sentencing for minor and non-violent offences, reviewing bail conditions to avoid undue hardship, especially for the poor, introducing a parole system to reward good behavior and accelerate reintegration, completing the 800 inmate capacity remand prison at Nsawam, initiated by my previous administration in 2016, which has been left abandoned. Developing modern correctional centers for men, women, and juveniles. We're enhancing the conditions of service for our prison officers, modernizing prison infrastructure, and expanding rehabilitation programs connected to sustainable livelihood and employment after release. The Ghana Prison Service will actively contribute to the 24-hour economy by running prison industries around the clock. This will include manufacturing, sewing school uniforms, manufacturing furniture, agro-processing, and other goods, both for government use and for the open market. This initiative will not only generate income to sustain the service, but will also equip inmates with the practical skills for life.
Say to akase boneso ane bekoso ejinemu ewo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama akachebe okopi mu ewo damango no okasa ede ato abonten say yenu no mo kire ya aban kukum ne yade mo ho asem ehia ne yie pa ye hye mre oba aban mu foforo kra na sika ede mo de bi ye 180 pesos enyankopon ya adom otimi atomu de akofa ICDC no eno kra di adanse ye say yade yenu no mo na duafie no omo ho hia aban ni nto no nso ebe ye na afemu die bia se bone kra ni pani di ya edini kopie bia ya wo no obafia onsan medibie mu nti wo be ye nsan no dwumadwumadi omo ye dadade enso se de oba be hye mu kena ama sa ade pam na nipa ni sua e wo prison honoma otumi asua ni yie ni wo mfiri honoma mrafie no krono no oboye ne de ne kɔ honoma mansan kɔ ye sa boni ni
fertilizer and mechanized equipment to improve productivity over the next 3 years. And so the prison service is going to receive agricultural tractors and implements so that they can activate their prison camps. As you were told, we've also increased the daily feeding rate for inmates from 1 cedi 80 pesos to 5 Ghana cedis. This will provide better nutrition for those incarcerated in prison. This is not charity, it is justice. It reflects our belief that dignity should never be dependent on one's circumstances. Our reform efforts align with the United Nations Standard Minimum Rules for the Treatment of Prisoners, the Nelson Mandela Rule. Ghana continues to be in active partnership with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the African Union, the ECOWAS and other international organizations working to promote humane conditions in prisons. We will therefore continue to share experiences and adopt best practices and participate in global efforts to make our justice system.
Ene Ghana Statistical Service in Penifo Akasa, Edi Ato Abonten, so her said your mind Ghana to say Mumuno, Equa, Eyepa, Essence, maybe a trim, Yade na dear Chin, dear Senior, near Mabu, Ushuri, a question in Neosha, to see an drop it about 8%. Would it yen to whom in Fiena and us in film or Chiachuma. Not as to me say, I buy out this week. Did you mapa? And your man is on say, dear, then sweated that 8% in due to say, and as would you say, and Chebeti Abba from Cra.
It's do now, because a base 57 near Coco service in Yamabu. And she be service as I am Yamabuana. Ready at Toto, I fear some brain more a few near I say, maybe I Yamabuano, a Jina, at the alcohol former now as a costume. Into a year for Bosumi October, the enemy who said, Old Kanyama Boni now boom now the two a fear October 2024, and we say, Sano Obine Yamabo Mikai dinner as Watika crass, they say about or Hanchichemo watching. Busum na etwe mu September na yo ha nchiche mu nkron na echiripo enai. Nti hu se mika no ekoso mo ba I say break no we apply break ni so nti so tete nkaka. Ene nche se 8% na che se nyama no still ya tutu. Nti e bia mekoto ade afina etwe mu no October mekoto ade ne boy 100 cedis a sa busum October mekwa akoto a meto no 108 cedis. Isa na mo chisa 8% na ye kan. Nti nyama na ekoso ba mika na edi no eso abre ase kakra. Na obi be bisa se ede ntitu na ema still nyama bo na ekoso yi. Ohwe ye categories ekuru na group you go no food and non-food. Ene na mu yedu pa on me fa say we be 42%. Then you say so te kakra eba 9.5%. Nti ono se na ni mu yedu now eso ate no ene ma etwe inflation na fi 9.4 na yehu September ne ba 8.0. Say you got inflation 8%. Say you positive ne there. E che say nyama still ekoso. Ohwe yen basket ma ye were 307 items busum bia ye ko market e ko bisa. Sa items e bi wo homo prices cost. Ofa item ti say ginger ni ekosoro pa ebi so esote ba e kan na buma ni e benya sa 8%, but 8% na kire say still enyama ekosoro, but true mi ka kese ti say first na say ni yenhu no aban de nhihye bebre ato e utumi say Bank of Ghana ye na afemu de say monetary side no buni be ka say obe maintain so that exchange rates in this we higher stable. Ministry of Finance so the physical aspect. Inti if sir we are omude atoto hono sanchi say ya omu
yen so akase bone so chief of staff yen munyamfo Julius Debra eni wakasa de ato abonten say ade aban ne bedan dwumedi ofofo credit din da so voluntary tax compliance ni nyina ne say aban no ene Ghana de hye nyina ebehia nwa kire yen se de eto a wo moje wo man Ghana mu ase no adekra wo mu ede yesan say kama se Ghana de hye binom ehye yentiri mu say eto aban mojeje ne se bi mon fesika no enye bibi papa bi enti obeye enkyerentwere ewo eto o mojeje taxes o mojeje wo Ghana ha sei no adekra property o mode ye.
But to reaffirm the collective commitment that every citizen, resident, enterprise, and stakeholder in Ghana has a stake in the common future, and that our tax system must be understood, trusted, and sustained by all. We must move from seeing tax as a burden or inevitability to seeing tax as an investment into the building of our dear nation. As part of our reset agenda, we must take the bold step of internally generating enough revenue to fund our developmental projects. Yes, I do admit attaining complete voluntary compliance is a journey, but I believe we have taken too long to reach that desired destination. And I consider this campaign as an essential tool to help us speed up our travel time. Moving forward, I urge all citizens and residents to make efforts to understand the need to voluntarily declare and pay accurate taxes to ensure national development. The authority must therefore carry out this campaign across the entire country, creating opportunities for citizens and residents to appreciate the essence of voluntary compliance. I am thus also delighted that the modified taxation scheme is being launched today, which is aimed at broadening the tax net. Every taxable income must be collected. We must all contribute our fair share in taxes to be able to boldly demand accountability from our government. It should not always be what my country can do for me, but what as a priority and patriotic citizen I can also do for the country. Fellow Ghanaians, as we launch today an initiative that goes to the heart of nation building, we launch a campaign that seeks not only to raise revenue, but to raise awareness, raise responsibility, and raise hope. In addition, we launch an initiative that will rope in those in the informal sector into the tax net. Let us imagine our beloved country in which a teacher in a remote village has a decent classroom thanks to revenue collection. A nurse in a district hospital has the equipment she needs because of sustained funding. A young graduate finds a job in a small enterprise that formalizes and expanded because the business environment improved. Citizens commute on roads you help pay for, your taxes at work. Build a safer and peaceful country by equipping our security personnel.
I was saying, Jumedia, bro, Mopahoon to Medina say, and I Ghana Revenue Authority in penning for, and I feel in penning for Huduaka, Kushiasi, and as have Renon Wakasa, Eddie Asabon says, you said, oh, my Ghana, Yamomuno Elko Padi or Besre, say a tour a tree and will be unfunny home, Jimmy Sans Essicana, and penning for Shady Boomine.
Remains the lifeblood of our national development. It is through taxes that we build roads and schools, equip hospitals, empower local governments, and secure the foundations of a strong economy, as well as maintain peace and security. Our progress as a nation depends not on external aid, but on our collective commitment to contribute faithfully to raise domestic revenue for our common good. The vision of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana, as we all know popularly as the Reset Agenda, is to build the country we want. At GRA, the Reset Agenda in many respects includes building a tax administration that focuses on Ghana first. That is, raising domestic revenue to support national development agenda of the government, investing in our people and technology to create efficient tax systems, and engagement with taxpayers and stakeholders based on trust and public confidence. On behalf of the board and management, I affirm GRA's unwavering dedication to ensuring that our tax system is transparent, equitable, accessible, and aligned with the realities of modern Ghana. A system that rewards tax compliance, promotes trust, and create convenience, positive customer experience for the taxpayers to fulfill their civic responsibility of contributing their fair share of revenue mobilization.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's tax to GDP ratio presents a concerning picture. Despite efforts, our tax to GDP ratio remains below the Africa's average of 16.2%, 27% for advanced economies, and falls short of the 20% target set by ECOWAS. In 2024, Ghana's tax revenue averaged around 13.6% of GDP, highlighting the need for more effective tax policies and administration to boost revenue collection and support economic transformation. This government, led by His Excellency President Mahama, is committed to using tax revenues prudently. We understand the trust placed on us. We must and we have sharpened our prioritization framework and deepened our consultations with citizens. We are working hard to ensure that every cedi collected is channeled into transformative interventions that improve your lives. From infrastructure development to education and healthcare, we are focused on delivering value for your tax contributions and driving sustainable growth for our prosperous Ghana. Let us therefore work together to reinforce the social contract between the government and citizens, establishing continuous tax education as the basis of our financial stability and national growth.
Additional member, Afia Yababisim, 2026, 31st January, and the MPP Emmanuel Kuno, a flag bearership, election, Ebeshisha so. And then I'm so amateur for Penny Edima, and PP Emmanuel Kuno, Munyan for Justin from Ponkodia, Akasadia Tabon, since she poor dear Guaquema, Ebebo Medina Kosowa Sumbia.
A basic presidential candidate, a canin. Yes, I said, Nanny Penny being Siasia, Nelson, so, and name it the set. party for dodo na atiase ene party penifo ya adwen sampa anamo ayetu no ebeboa party no ama nkabuma ba party no muntem tinameboa said the munim no January 31 2026 yeba kwato aba ye Frank Atuni ama osunu kokoko ama yoku no yenim say ewie presidential primaries yeba polling station elections yeba electoral area elections yeba constituency elections yeba regional elections yeba national external branch for beto aba enam say party na nya bre say bi no ma bia anko ya enokwa bi keka ho ena ma bembuo baaye ema the Brunifan party by NCBMT yehye no mayi say be ya party for do na ni beje so mo kai party no ye ko yanim 2026 ye wie presidential primaries na ye party na di hye beba na so ye start na say ye di kai eyi amanfo asotire say ye ko yanim no say bi onto aba polling station bi na so oni sa clusters no ma ontimi kogina as polling station executive the party for ensenuso afro so yem pese etinye bi abeba se obi wo ha oso okwa kogina as polling station executive yesi manage na bi yesi enimo yesi okra oni good standing no party no e de hihye aba se party baba bia no owo kuo no de se o pese ye tu anamo bi na kai ho se ye koto aba eyi party pinifo say presidential election so polling station election so constituency national dia say
empanifo a ewo senate akasa director general honum Dr. Kwesi Afre Baini akasa de ato abonten say no ade obesre kame say ye mabunum bi ne ya ne empese ye de ye ho be hye senate edwumadi nanso yen kan hu say da chia wakọ ahomegye mu no say sika na na ba betue yenka na wasan so hwe yade asnet mpanimfo ede nhyehyɛ pegu akwemu krampa wokɔ ɛwa homegye ma ɔmɛhwɛ atua wo kasan de akyɛde ana sɛ eniyema esombo ede aka ho ede amonto besre ɛyɛ mabuna ya hye adwuma ase na neye ana sɛ mprempren nyina ase yemfa yɛ ho nhyɛ ɛyɛ senate edwumadie biom
ɛyɛ senate edwumakuo no ɛbɛkɔ so edina ne nan so wohwɛ ne senate ayɛ over the years bosumi bia so a ne yatua pensioner bia ne sika yen fairly one single occasion poda yeguso ye investments enyoma ema senate scheme it is a senate pension funds edinamu ye no ba ko ne over expand the coverage say omo a omo don ko no de bia ye numbers e kosoro ye active members every 2 million investment a ye returns a eba no dodo na eye ye ahwe ye nneomam near enko ye ne kra no ye boy homoden se ebesesa ene new investment bia so aye no ye say MPR new guidelines some the man for investment in ade no ebo obia ho ban enti na mama gidie say ye koye nim no senate ebekoso anyi na atumpon enti ye hyega na phone na ye bo ene bo no e simple ye say o de founder personal ne jane aka ne maye ne enyema ho Oko stock exchange of the 33 companies that were emu 22 Senate are investing in. Ofa banks krom ha of the 23 no Senate will stake will move 8. Osha performance of stock exchange this year. Yeah, equities are stock exchange this year pen across by 1.8 billion as at September. Nina share investments are here. Oko energy your plant Senate energy expanding a fee inquiry the 110 megawatts 126 and all. Yeah, the
adeshimani ba mekoso akenkan kasebo no ede amamo be na kakrani na German mampani yon munyamfo stama ya bepie mu oman Ghana mu hase ndi omukwa pro bebre oman Ghana fana bebre na emira wo ba hase ni no kasa se wadi sika puduo be sha oman Ghana mpunzu nyume huduo mu eye omukopie mu ka wo KTI ede asokobo form se eye dwumedi omo sha ase ho no mo sha ase ne no na nam so ama Ghana de hie binu abra eyon munyamfo stama ya kopie mu e wo menhia palace no ukoshia ye businessmen and as a business people e wo ho no hwe kwan a be fa so no de aboa wo no mo nso dwumedie etumponti mpanimfo mo nso de omani munyam ekota ye nhia wonmunyam first time ya koshia ye asante hene no enso kasae
Na said the animal. Okay, so said Ghana, see, then I come so. Anytime you're couple, yeah, when you chance, to say, or cancer my babua, every money pan on them, what we have a Ghana. I know that this meeting, so become Ghana for so. Yes, as anti-mango, entire country no be for so. Why you be the way? So why would see free Rollins, go for at a Mills, John Mama, Omunya Cap, say, I am of the World Bank Bibia, Onwa, Bibiba, Onwa, the Kama, Etimene, Emma, Tinipas and here, Bibi Ba. They also were here, Ghana Yam for so. No, say.
Germany, you could, and you could. And Omadi said the quality, and I'm saying Germany, Ghana, and so I on Kwa Ache. Omo GIZ, Omo KFW. Omoni o partners bebree efa ema kuaye ho adwumasua especially TVET, corporate, any TVET. Germany are supported for emre bebree. Nam say Germany for so any G insano dwuma ho. For businesses so no be share here no so. Omo business people omo ready so omo na be ye adwuma.
Ye beto akase ene so e wo mfimfini mantemu ene na nanu matena nkonwa e ho no makasa e de ato abonten se isha na fe afahye a wode e ba be hihye so ni to besre se adehye omote e mfimfini mantemu efri endrada e November bosmene na neto so ensia enkosi e 28 November na nyade adede e be koso se ye bo ntwene ye bo nwum dededede ene sebi dede a ehu enhia na nyade a e be koso wo se kuro no mu ye din no mo de afahye no.
Ne ye chobem 28 ono na ye wie ye kopuru ye kowie wo ho gomu fete ye wudin atenfu wo fe ya adra achinim obi musuro yesu chinanu na he ya se wo fe na ewudi ye bodo ewu ewu a obiara mgba chirim obiara nye dede Polisifu waso ati yama abam mpemfo wole waso tibia waso ati yama ho letters mo nya wa the mana yerbaye on the 6 12 o'clock prime na ya ashasi kruma ayedi ekwa asola machinu nkasa makim nyedede empabo na chere owu yesha asifi yamwa nkwanta akole papiasi number 1 papiasi number 2 kobrate krum kaswa kumie apra burburum yesabe krum nyenye gomo nyenye anu kra wo fata asasim nyano kakraba okan nyano kase okan yem kroba sibiara abam oya ato asase okan ya asafumba wo yem kroba si na fata kasim de wokono obiru yededa onya ntokwa oya kasa kire yina kasa abuterim yina kasa abuterim no ontin ho asa mamban man ya no hwe na adibio ohian na atoba ense na adibiala amaru boko sabanu maku ejenu boko so onyon lokwa mamban bi we siko wa le ya sor wo ba sa wonda ma wada ba fatakasim woja wodba ahimfia na namu
Adishima mama menso akase bono so enfamo so fo hwedwedi ensem so eni ode ensem shonko ato abonten de amagana adehye ye woni munyamfo ye honorable Elizabeth Ofosu Ejare ene wode asem ato Ghana adehye nyina enim se eto aye degene kamia se Ghana adehye bi ni hu ne se e punishment ana se ye adeboni bi na aban no eye enso besere se Ghana fo nyina enti ase se eye eto aye je e wo man mu no eno na bo mo mpanifo de ye mpuntuo e wo hanu senti breson say in chia to an as a taxes are my entry so.
Awareness and improve compliance, particularly within the Ghana's vibrant informal sector. In today's economic landscape, tax education is not just a technical exercise, It is a cornerstone of inclusive development. When citizens understand their tax obligations, we unlock the potential to mobilize domestic revenue for critical investment in infrastructure, healthcare, education, industrial transformation, and job creation. This program is therefore aligned with Ghana's broader economic goals. As a ministry, working closely with traders, SMEs, manufacturers, and young entrepreneurs, we fully support this campaign. We are committed to collaborating with the Ghana Revenue Authority to ensure that tax education is accessible across all regions and all sectors, especially those in the informal economy whose participation is essential. A well-informed taxpayer is a willing and compliant taxpayer. Strengthening tax literacy builds trust, enhances transparency, and fosters voluntary compliance. Key ingredients for a fair and effective tax system. We commend GRA's ongoing digital transformation, which is simplifying tax processes and improving accessibility. The ministry stands ready to support sensitization efforts across business community, including through using our regional trade offices and MSMEs networks. Let's take this opportunity to encourage our Ghanaians, especially our dynamic trading and business communities, to embrace taxation as a civic duty and a strategic investment in Ghana's future. Tax is not a burden. It is a shared responsibility that fuels nation building. Finally,
say yet to Akasi Bonesani if you are my Ghana near the Akwakupiemu, Ewa Mahodro Sunse, Mukopiemu, Ewa Mali, and Naomo Foreign Minister, Akwakupiemu, Ewa US Nimpeni for, Ukoshiano to us, our Junior Hekaya, Yamana Maimi, Bambo Honsem, Evetimi Akoye.
In the country, the call comes in the wake of a U.S. warning against travel to Mali. Last week, Washington ordered non-essential embassy staff and citizens to leave Mali over security risks. A blockade by Islamist militants has seen Mali's capital suffer widespread fuel shortages, prompting fears that the junta's control may be slipping. The insurgents have attacked and set fire to fuel tankers on highways leading to Bamako in the last 2 months. Mali is landlocked, and most of its fuel cargo comes via Senegal. Mali and its Sahel neighbors, Niger and Burkina Faso, have been embroiled in a deadly Islamist insurgency.
Yen so Akasi Boneso, Ewa Singapore, Prime Minister Yun Munyamfo Lawrence Wong, and in Iwato and Sadia Fre, Palestine, Prime Minister Munyamfo Mohammed Mustafa, so Munyanambra no Mishia, Ewa Singapore, no Monso Ajane, and Shakwaya, Singapore, Bitumia Faso, Abwa de Shell Palestine, and this year, so more Palestino.
Scores Singapore's continued support for humanitarian efforts in Gaza.
Your help throughout the years, whether it is for humanitarian assistance or development assistance, has been making a big difference. Today in Gaza, that assistance is needed the most.
Dr. Balakrishnan met Dr. Agabekian to better understand what support is needed on the ground. At the request of the Palestinian Authority, he announced that Singapore will expand its capacity building programs, including more digital training, to start next year. This aims to help efforts towards sustainable peace and development.
We in Palestine, looking up to the experience in Singapore, we find them as our own aspiration, because they are also a small country. We also a small country with very limited resources, and yet they are advancing and developing in very distinguished way.
Dr. Appreciation for Singapore's long-standing support and welcomed closer people-to-people ties. The visit follows the implementation of the first phase of the ceasefire in the region.
We call on all parties, all stakeholders, to seize this opportunity, reach an agreement for the next phase, and comply strictly and fully with the terms of the ceasefire. The suffering of the civilians in Gaza, especially women and children, has gone on for far too long. Singapore is a tiny city-state we're about 8,000 kilometers away from Gaza, but our hearts are not distant.
Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan also met the Minister of Planning and International Cooperation, Dr. Estefan Salame.
Kidnappers and robbers in Nigeria recording major success. Aposi for more Delta State at Cheyemran, so 77. I was to say kidnapping and I think so armed robbery. A man homeless so our Nigeria Titru and a Delta State will be no more and no monster.
Crack down on kidnappers, armed robbers and cultists, recording major successes in October and November 2025. Within the period, 77 suspects were arrested, 13 firearms and over 500 rounds of ammunition recovered, while 5 kidnapped victims were rescued and hurt. Over 4 million naira in ransom money was also recovered following multiple sting operations in Asaba, Warri, Ughelli and other parts of the state. The command says several arms dealers, cultists and a suspected drug baron were apprehended, with large quantities of weapons and hard drugs seized. Commissioner of Police Abanewanda Olufemi commended the operatives for their professionalism and urged residents of Delta State to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities. And the suspected drug baron were apprehended, with 10 firearms and over 500 rounds of ammunition recovered, while 5 kidnapped victims were rescued and hurt. Kidnappers, armed robbers and cultists recording major successes in October and November 2025. Within the period, 77 suspects were arrested, 13 firearms and over 500 rounds of ammunition recovered, while 5 kidnapped victims were rescued and hurt. Over 4 million...
Shannon Sumama Sekasi boy Echegu Facebook Live, Ashanti Prime TV, YouTube, Ashanti Prime TV na TikTok and say Ashanti Prime TV. We shall no comment or like and share a day. Amame and Sumama de some more Casebo can stand pay. Nedos near Dimakutini be any. Egana one penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Eco PM our Savannah region a year damango, say a hundred year fear ye Pentecost as for Esino call her momu ano. Sounds no munyan for a Julius Deborah, a 2 of my Ghana this year for FIA tax paying. When some winning some out drop your account of the best some more. Or Casebo coins, once and I'm sorry, so ne, even munyan for Isaac Akwesi, Quartin, and ne Ayo would away for well near Bema a year Achim police, a honor mossy and Ayo would a young point shroud, known to 2 and more NCC ye be a door night besino, Radima Honya or Boshe Assassi, baby will be a bit complaining. So would you hold me Radenshan and when munyam upon Isaac? Yankopon insure na onto insurance through Ngua Bravo. So Adishima Bahano say, na bebe makwame de prime and opanon si akasi ni nyina esmidin e de mes na start na karobia.
Misro ene open live band na reggae music etia mesraw katira obi say Murphy asa live band time no aso enti ene reggae night ene die in fact ene ampaye bedwa enti mesraw fa
singing. Ooh, I love you, and I want right now that I singing. I want to give you some love. I want to give you some good loving. I want to give you some good love. of it. One time. Ooh yeah. Oi yo, oi yo, oi yo, oi yo, yo yo yo. You feel it in the one drop, and we still find time to rap. We making the one stop. The generation gap, so feel this drum beats. I said best within, you playing everything. Resisting against the system. Ooh, I know Jah will never let us down. Pull your rights from wrong. I know Jah will never let us down. Oh no, oh no, oh no. They make the war so hard. Every day we got to keep on fighting. They make the war so hard. Every day the people are dying. Hey, truth for hunger and starvation, lamentation. But read it in Revelation. You find your redemption, and then you give us the teachings of His Majesty. But we don't want whatever philosophy. And you then give us the teachings of His Majesty. But we don't want whatever philosophy. You feel it in the one drop, and we still find time to rap. We making the one stop. As we feel in the gap, so feel these drum beats. I said best weather, you playing the rhythm. Ooh. Fighting against ism and schizo singing. I know Jah will never let us down. Pull your rights from wrong. I know Jah will never let us down. Oh no, oh no, oh no. They make the war so hard. Every day we got to keep on fighting. They make the war so hard. Every day the people are dying. Hey, truth, 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 truth on me. Truth, truth, truth. I won't fight in A, I won't fight in A. You give us the teachings of His Majesty, but we don't want the devil philosophy. And you then give us the teachings of His Majesty, but we don't want the devil. You feel it in the one drop, and we still find time to rap. We making the one stop. As we feel in the gap, so feel this drum beats. I said best within, you playing everything. Resisting against the system. Ooh, I know Jah will never let us down. Pull your rights from wrong. I know Jah will never let us down. Oh no, oh no. Silver band for you. One time. From the Bible to the Quran, Revelation in Jerusalem, Shalom, Salam Alaikum. You can see Christian, Jews, and Muslims living together and praying, Amen. Let's give thanks and praises. Oh, Adonai. Oh, Jerusalem. Oh, Adonai. Oh, Jerusalem. Jerusalem, here I am. Jerusalem, yet here. Jerusalem, here I am. Jerusalem, yet here. One time. Israel Ayakirati, Israel Ayakirati, Ani whoever town, Israel Ayakirati, Israel Ayakirati. Israel Ayakirati, Ani whoever down, Israel Ayakirati, Jerusalem, here I am, Jerusalem, yet have. Jerusalem, here I am. Jerusalem, yet am. Bible to the Quran, Revelation time. Shalom, Salam Alaikum. You can see Christian, Jews, and Muslims living together and praying, amen. Let's give thanks and praises. Oh, Adonai. Oh, Jerusalem. Oh, Adonai. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, here I am. Jerusalem, yet am. Jerusalem, here I am. Jerusalem, yet am. Silverbond. One time. Sleep by the Dead Sea and rise up with the birds from the hills and clean up my sins. While the birds singing, I'm gonna walk up to the top of the rock of sacrifice, 'cause I know now life and no dies. 'Cause I know now life is a sacrifice. Yes, I know now life is a sacrifice. Witness the rising sun from Masada. Witness the